Yo, hey, what's up guys? In today's video, we're gonna take a look at a couple of teams that can do full auto TITUS teams for HYDRA. I'm gonna explain you the base core, the champions that you need. Keep in mind, champions that I'm gonna show you right now doesn't have to be exactly what I have right now. It could be someone else like a Demifa or something for you instead of a Emic. Don't worry about that. The things that you're gonna need is one of the three enablers. It is Wixwell, Brogy or Emic. And I gotta warn you a little bit. TITUS is hell. RNG hell. You remember the Wixwell Yannicka things where you had to restart a run quite often and also like 20-30 minutes in? That will happen for us too now. There is some natural fail rate because the boss can eat you, get your buffs stolen, and since we are dependable on our buffs, they are gone afterwards and we are not gonna do that much damage anymore. And for those people, maybe you think buff spread could be a nice thing. The shield that you gain from your shield set is not spreadable. You cannot spread it, so you can technically get one buff back and keep the run going and maybe squeeze out a little bit more damage. That is technically possible, but we want the big numbers right now. So, like always, it would be amazing if you press that like button, subscribe if you haven't done already, to let the algorithm know that I exist. Let's talk about the base core. We're gonna start up with Wixwell, because he makes it a little bit easy and it's a nice little string of putting someone out, putting someone in and all that. So Wixwell is our first one. What do you have to do with Wixwell and TITUS? First of all, it could be possible that you have two buff extenders, Wixwell included, and that is enough for you to keep your buffs. Imagine, wait, I'm putting him here. Imagine these two right here are on 300 plus speed and TITUS is on 200. So that means they take 3 turns while TITUS takes 2 turns. So you can keep up the buffs on a natural thing. So it will always go to 3 or 4 duration of your buffs. Then you take a couple turns, then you extend and it will go back to 4, then it goes down and all that. That is quite nice if you want to do it. So technically 2 buff extenders are okay. I'm gonna tell you, because if something intervenes with you, it steals your turn meter, it eats you or something like that, you go downwards on your buff duration, and that is the worst case that you can ever bring. So what I totally recommend if you do a team, even with Wixwell, you gotta have 3 buff extenders. I'm gonna just put him in quickly in here. It doesn't have to be for you later on this one. Mikage can be Demifa, he can be Demifa, but Wixwell not, of course. So we have 3 buff extenders and of course our TITUS. That means at this moment, if we make them faster like before, 300 speed-ish, him 200 speed-ish, then we will give him actually plus the buff duration. So he will grow his shield while he's getting like 7 turns of buff duration, 8 turns, and if something goes a little bit wrong in the team, you still have a buffer. And for a auto team, I actually want a buffer. I want as many chances to get my run as good as possible instead of just relying on luck. A little tip, Merciless and Reflex, all that is still really nice. My Wixwell, for example, has Merciless and Reflex. Here is a Grazor, has a shield and a Merciless set, just to make it a little bit more stable if something happens. So we have 2 more spots to fulfill. One is locked. I'm telling you it's locked. It's Lydia or someone else that does decreased defense and weaken. For example, yeah, maybe like decreased defense, for example, if you use like, there is different setups, like this buff extender has weaken, then you can use something like, just because we have weaken already, we can use a Ugo, for example, just to fulfill something. But I think you understand what I mean. Decreased defense and weaken are super important. If you use Mad Hatter already, then you should use them. So what I just quickly do for the sake of it, to make it easier, Lydia and Razor again. Yeah, wait, I typed it wrong. Like always. So we have 3 buff extenders plus our debuffs that make our damage go higher. We have 1 slot in here that needs to be fulfilled. I'm gonna tell you right now, it can be something like Duchess to give us perfect veil and keep us from the nastiness from all the blue head, for example. Duchess is sometimes super dumb. She attacks always the blue head with the A1, loses her thingy and stuff. So even if you don't have Duchess, what you can do, and I'm not joking, you can put something in like another buff extender. So you have so many buff extenders. Even if you lose a turn on a champion, you will get actually your... You don't lose your buffs. And that, of course, that's a good thing. That's what we're trying to do. And also, if you kill the blue head, you get true fear. And since we have so many buff extenders in here, the guy who receives the perfect veil, what I mean, he will never lose it. Because there's so many buff extenders. Like, you kill the blue head a couple of times, and then you have it anyway. If you lose a turn because of true fear, of course, it will hurt your damage. You still get your buffs, you can still grow your shield, and all that. Don't you worry. So, but for the sake of it, I will put Duchess in here. It makes it easier, more controllable, because we have perfect veil on our control. So that would be basically the team, and that is good. I'm totally recommend this team. Duchess could also be probably, what's the epic name? One epic they can do perfect veil. I forgot the name. You guys keep me up on the comment section. I actually forgot. I want to know now. Like, what's going on? But yeah, you can use this team. I have something in mind. Where did I do it? I did something like this right here. It's a little bit of a same. It's the same setup where we have the 3 buff extenders: Lydia, Duchess, and TITUS. But the buff extender is Mad Hatter in our case, just to make it a little bit more cooler because of Hex. Hex is another thing that you really want. There's no doubt that you want it. Can use it on Lydia. A Hex set would be okay. I could use Grazer, he does A1s, and I think every skill of him is A or E, something like this. But keep in mind, Hex really important. And before you start a run, another champion needs to be higher crit damage than your TITUS, or else he will get eaten first. If you don't know, you go into a HYDRA run, and the guy with the highest crit damage will get the mark of the HYDRA. And later on, after the first time, it is random. So it doesn't, it's like crit damage searching or something. So keep that in mind. That those are the base core that you need. Yeah, Hex, really important. And another guy that does crit damage up. I'm gonna show you all these teams afterwards. Like, we're gonna jump into it. We do a quick battle run, but I just wanted to talk about the core. Wixwell, 2 buff extenders, a perfect veil, or another buff extender, plus Lydia and TITUS. You can press auto and you hope for your luck. What if you wanna use Brogy? It looks really full, right? It is easy. We're just gonna put out her and put in Brogy. Wait, that's totally wrong. Alright, bro. Yeah, he starts like my name, bro. And that is, wait, of course we gotta put out the Wixwell just for the sake of it. So of course you replace your Wixwell because you don't have a Wixwell. Just for the sake of it, I put Krisk in it because I know he's a buff extender. And yeah, we won't use him, but yeah. That is basically the same team, just with a Brogy instead of a Duchess. And I already told you, since we have so many buff extenders, and also they should go on some sort of a reflex merciless set, you will grow your shields anyway. And if you lose a turn, you shouldn't be in any danger because you might run out your buffs or something, because 3 buff extenders, they go really fast against a TITUS that is really slow. Generates a lot of buffs on him, buff duration wise. Maybe the other ones lose something here and there, or they get true feared or something. Shouldn't be a problem because he still has more than enough of durations. So that is kind of pretty easy. Brogy, 3 buff extenders, Lydia, TITUS, buff extenders, faster. Brogy of course in damage set, and Lydia like always. That is your base core about a Brogy team. Of course, I told you already, something like this can work with, for example, 2 buff extenders. But it is risky again, where something comes in, steals your stuff or something like this, and you will be in trouble. And that is the second team what you can easily do with Brogy. The third team, I gotta do it like this, because it is So this is the team what I have for my Brogy. We're gonna jump into it in a second. No, don't you worry. But I want to talk about it. There's some crucial information for some people probably. And yeah, that's the Emic team. I already did a video. This can be also full auto, where we just basically lead in A1 of our Emic that will increase our shield only by 10k HP. But since we do have so many ally attackers, we will grow our shield on our leader. He just needs to be the leader on a Emic team, and then he will just slowly kind of grow his team, and that also works full auto. So you know what? Let's jump quickly into it. Am I even recording? Yes, I checked. Nice. Yeah, that's the first one. So let's go in. Let's see what happens. So we're just gonna take a look quickly, so you kind of have a feeling what is going on, and then afterwards we're gonna do a quick battle. Hopefully it does something. I still have in mind that quick battle is kind of buggy or something, because I pressed it quite often and most of the time it was like 50 million damage. I was like, okay, but we're gonna test that out for sure. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of a run right here so you can see, hey, this is working. But for some reason, maybe quick battle, because of the 20%, 30, 40% fail rate, I don't know how the fail rate is. The run will probably at some point break or something. And yeah, just you know, I can do some really good damage in here. Right now, why did I get a True Fear proc? I heard a True Fear proc, but let's... Usually something dies a little bit faster. And I did my testing on brutal mode because I'm lazy. I want to not get all the stats to the right perfect spot, so I can just freely click some accessories and those accessories give me the right numbers. So hopefully TITUS is going in. Right, we don't have... What's going on? Why did he lose his gear shield? Nah, I'm not so sure about that one. He does have... Wait, let me quickly check if I'm on brutal. So I just know the things that happen for me, it's just gonna be for you too. So yeah, and you see already something failed. I have no idea what failed. Maybe that's the quick battle. Every time I quick battle is like immediately, no, we're gonna get rid of all your stuff. Alright, we got the shield and the thingy. Nice. Did some good damage, but I was suspecting a little bit more. Usually I was one-shotting him. It's nice, but doesn't happen quite every time. Maybe like Ham Smasher or something. But shouldn't be a problem. So the goal in this team is just to get TITUS on buff durations. Just give him more over time, more buff durations to give us a buffer that makes it more possible if something goes wrong that he still can do the do. And that's it. The other champions, they're not so important. Did Duchess again attack the blue head? I think that happened. I heard some True Fear procs again. Maybe I'm running out of Perfect Veil in a second, but yeah, shouldn't be a problem too much. It's still kind of inconvenient. Why are you... Wait, did she not attack the blue head? Yeah, so you can see it already. The buff duration on TITUS, they go up. I have also Merciless and stuff on them, so it's quite a little bit more likely that they go even further up. So it happens quite early in the run instead of later on. Same thing, you make him faster, TITUS slower, and they overrun him, so they increase more than they should. Just instead of keeping him stable, you rise up your buff durations. So TITUS, can you please hit? So people will see that it goes up and up and up. So we can do finally our quick battle. He did use his A1 again. Damn! Of course, your damage is also dependable on your Merciless procs. You hope for that you attack, then you get a Merciless proc, then you do your A1, and you can attack again. So you have technically your thing on a 2-turn cooldown. That is the thing that would... Oh, yeah, 7 million damage already. Wixwell teams are on the beginning a little bit slower than a Brogy team. A Brogy team is quite fast, if I can say so. But yeah, I think you understand. The other champions doesn't matter too much about the buffs. You recast some shit anyway. Just on your TITUS. You don't want to get him eaten. He needs resistance if the mischief head attacks him, so he can resist some, and that's it. He does his damage, and Lydia puts out the decreased defense and all that. Yeah, damage is crazy. Let's do a little bit longer so you can kind of see that I do some damage in here. Like, my attack was usually like 100 million. Oh yeah, I have to talk about that. The head that is gonna cleanse, he will always get prioritized, and you lose a lot of damage on auto because of him. It's still audible, no problem, but yeah, again, I said it already. Let's see at least one really nice hit. Come on, TITUS. TITUS! Yes! It got better, but not quite that much. But yeah, usually I hit like 100 million. The video will be super long if I just let that run forever, you know. So yeah, let's just end this one and hope for a quick battle. I think, you know, you understand, like, you're smart people. So let's go, hope for the best. Yeah, it's quite nice, like 1 billion. It was quite not all the way to the end. At least this one shows you, hey, he's not talking trash. It does some damage, you know. That's really cool. But 1 billion, really quite nice. Let's go ahead and use the Brogy team, so you kind of see also what is gonna happen. And same concept, plus we get a little bit of True Fears. That's why Mikage and Mad Hatter are really good, because they also kind of cleanse the True Fear. If they have it, don't use it on quick battle. Let's go! Yeah, and Brogy is way faster. You will see the shield immediately going up so quick. And oh, I think on Brogy teams I one-shotted the left one, because yeah, he already casted his skill before TITUS, increased the shield, and we had a way bigger shield to attack. Alright, let's go ahead, and TITUS, come on, yeah, okay. Nice! Nice, that's what I like to see. And yeah, we kill the blue head in this team to get our perfect veils. They will increase it all the time, at least on TITUS. The others, sometimes they will maybe get a true fear proc. But hey, believe me, if you put Duchess in here instead of a buff extender, the run gets a little bit too janky, where you might lose your buffs because Duchess is gonna attack the blue head, then she misses her perfect veil skill, you have nothing to extend, they will all attack somewhere AoE for example, they all attack the blue head, you get True Fear, then Mad Hatter loses his skill, Mikage loses her skill, and your run is over. So what I'm trying to do is to give you the best outcome to do it on auto right now. With 2 buff extenders, I can manual, probably. I'm a little bit smarter than the AI and shit. Like, you know, I cannot press the blue head of my Duchess and then do it. But I want to give you the most outcome even when you don't. Yeah, like what was I trying to say? I even forgot. Yeah, shield already crazy good. Nice, that's what I want to see. And should we go a little bit more? I think you understand. I did 1 billion with a Wixwell. Now we already have the shield. We do some damage now. Let's do a quick battle. And you will see the reality of that. It's probably not gonna work. The 1 billion was quite nice. Like, for just clicking the button, that was quite long. That's not gonna happen too often. Oh, let's see what's gonna here happen. Come on, yeah. Oh, yeah. Damage is quite nice, you know? Isn't it? 1.59 billion for not even going all the way? Nice. And yeah. That's what I like to see. Usually I press that quick battle button. The last time 5 times back to back and all were like 70 million. I'm like, what the? I pressed the run on myself. I watch it. I'm like, 3 minutes later, oh, 200 million already. How can that even be? So now we take a look at the Emic team. But my Emic team is a little bit janky, because usually what you want to have on a Emic team is that you have the most crit damage on Emic himself. So even for my team, this team is quite... Patrick could be replaced by some Fat Man, for example. You don't have increased speed anymore too much, and the heal with continuous heals on a protection set is quite valuable. When Krisk, Could be also someone else, like just any buff extenders at this point even. I don't know. And what we're gonna do in here is, setup is the same, but we have 2 buff extenders this time now only because we have Emic. He's gonna reset the buff extenders. The buff extenders are way faster than the TITUS, so they take way more turns, plus the skill reduction on our Emic. They will make that the buff duration go up on our TITUS, and even Patrick with his A1, he has a chance to decrease cooldowns on a random guy. That makes it even more stable, that we have more skills ready when we need them. And yeah, let's just go quickly in there. We just gotta do a quick battle right away. We have 2 left. Okay, that's usually what happened. Let me try again, come on. It's sad that the Emic is not the most crit damage. It's actually Mad Hatter right now, so we quite missed some shield. But it could also be just RNG. Yeah, if you don't trust me in this one, I made another video where I stacked it up. I did quite some damage already, but yeah, that's usually the reality what you see in these teams, because they are dependable on RNG. And you know it yourself that RNG is quite not on our side. So, but also, I think really a lot of people are interested in all these stats. So how am I gonna do that? There's so many champions. Alright, let's go with first. Let's do the enablers first. He is in a Merciless and Reflex. It helps a ton if he has that. Really nice. I can recommend it. Those, oh yeah, this one from the Faction Wars, the Relic, is quite nice. You sometimes get an extra turn if you have something on cooldown and you have your A2 on cooldown all the time. No problem. Keep in mind, in all the presets I had him is just one time the A3, so he cast that one time, and the rest of the time he's just using the A2. Getting an extra turn is quite nice for a Relic. Masteries are like this. Gotta do it a little bit faster. Wait, I think I didn't show you quite the stats. Do I have to press HYDRA? Yes, I have to press HYDRA. Alright, that's gonna be... It's such a long video already! But hey, many people kind of complain when I don't show all the stats, and this should be trying to help you. And Brogy, right? Merciless, so he gets his skill also quite frequently back to give us more shield, of course. The stats are like this. You don't need all the stats that I have right now. We are on the live server, so all this is just played by me and not something on the test server that I have like endless clips and all that. So even if you go 320 crit damage, you still stack up your shield really good. Believe me. So no Relic in here, we didn't need one. Nature's Raft, sometimes he does HP burn, that quite helps with his damage. The Giant Slayer is just old because that was his thing 5 years ago. And Emic, he should be in the most crit damage, like more crit damage than TITUS, Merciless and Reflex, quite fast. And all these things are just there to make the run less RNG heavy, okay? It's not like I want to put all these things, but it's just I want a cleaner run. That's why you farm these gears. Yeah, nothing too special in here. There was actually no mastery. So who else did we use? Oh, it's gonna be quiet. So let's go with Mikage. Definitely. Protection set. Fast. The theme of extenders are, hey, be really fast. Whatever you do, be really fast. Like way faster than your TITUS in the example. If you have a 180 TITUS, you don't quite need that much speed. So Relic right here, right there, masteries. And who else was in there? Mad Hatter, he's always really nice. Same theme for him. We're gonna make him fast. Merciless and Reflex. You don't need that many in Merciless and Reflex. You can probably do Rixwell and it should be okay. It's just taking you a little bit longer than your buff duration. Go to a 7, to a 8 or something like this. But yeah, this is... Wait, I haven't put out the HYDRA. Yeah, fast and do his stuff. Of course, he needs accuracy. What else did I use? Oh wait, he like relics and stuff. He has the Cat's Gaze right now. My second one because I want the crit damage out of it. Just to make him have more crit damage than my TITUS. Masteries, cruelty, blessing, like right here. I even gave him crit damage here, so yeah. Just for a video I spent 300 gems. Well, was it 300 or 150? I don't know. Grazor! He's really nice. Like if you have one, he's a really nice buff extender for TITUS because he has like increased defense, increased resistance, all the things that you need, plus buff extension. He has a shield set, he was my shield guy, plus merciless. Again, you don't need everybody, but I totally recommend it, yes. The book. And masteries like this, give him a little bit more resistance. Right, for sure. Who else was in there? Pedrick. And yeah, protection set. He's quite nice. He does continuous heals a lot of times. And since you have buff extenders, your TITUS will get up to 10 buffs on a protected way. That is quite nice to have. Yeah, stats are like this. Again, he's fast, like everybody else besides TITUS. Fast, like make him speedy. Speedy Gonzalez, you know. Relic, no one. And the rest, kind of also not so important. Who else did I use? Who did I forget? Oh, Duchess. Duchess, also quite easy to do. It's just protection sets. Wait. It's just protection set. And also fast. I think you understand now that everybody is fast besides TITUS. Relic, nothing here. Masteries, or kind of, yeah, alright, we got some masteries right here. And now let me quickly check. Like there's always something you kind of want to know. Krisk, I use Krisk for once. Okay, let's show Krisk in the Emic team. Right, he is in a shield set and a protection. Yeah, this time, no merciless this time for him. The book and masteries are like this. Was that everybody? I think yes. Did I show TITUS? Oh, I didn't show TITUS. Oh, we showed them Lydia also. Okay, TITUS and Lydia. Alright. First Lydia, like TITUS goes last, you know. It's not that important, so. So she is in a Firo set to get a little bit more damage out of her. It's quite nice. HYDRA goes like this. Oh, wait. What am I even saying? I think I'm too tired. It's pretty late. So HYDRA is like this. Relic, we don't have one. Don't have really something. Cruelty was on there. We got some masteries right here. And our man TITUS. Not even stacked up with like blessings and the hardest max level relics and stuff, and he still hits amazingly good. So he is in a merciless, in a zeal set. I made a whole video about how to build him. You probably should really watch it to understand what's going on. This is the set. These are the stats. Stats are still not low. I don't want to use low stuff, you know. But I think they're achievable if you just farm Cursed City. Yeah, like Cursed City and Sand Devil, and you should be where I am right now. Keep in mind, if you have a lower stats, you just do 20-30% less than I do right now, and you should be fine. So Relic is the Cat's Gaze, Heaven Cast, and these are the masteries. Helm Smasher for more damage. God damn, the video is already really long, so I'm just gonna say it is something we can enjoy if we enjoy to get 5 runs in a row. Failed, and then you gotta redo it until it works, and then you see big numbers, and then you are happy again. But yeah, that would be it. Press the like button, subscribe if you haven't done already, and yeah. Have a nice day, night.